Hey, good morning. I am on my way to my Saturday morning tennis class, and I thought I would share what came to me in the shower. Divine download, y'all. So, still talking about my fibroid journey, and I'm thinking about what the fibroids represented and how did they start, and what they now represent, what I'm choosing for them to represent. So, I decided that I wanted to go to law school at 16. And part of that decision, when I look back after therapy, after coaching, after a lot of personal development, self-development, spiritual development, when I look back now at 58, I know that going to law school for me was, one, I love the law. Two, I saw what lawyers could do in this society. Growing up, I saw that lawyers like Barbara Jordan from Texas, the great Congresswoman Barbara Jordan, or Judge Constant Baker Motley. These were names that were my sheroes. Or Sharon Pratt Kelly, the first black woman mayor of D.C., or Patricia Harris Roberts. All of these women, they were powerful. They were able to advocate on behalf of their communities. And then I looked at what lawyers do in American society. They had power. And I learned early on as a kid that as a girl growing up in the late 60s and the 70s, that things were unequal in terms of what some people thought was possible. Not necessarily my parents, but society. And so I had an experience when I was 7. I wanted to be an altar girl. I wanted to do what my brothers were doing in the Catholic Church. I wanted to serve on the altar. And I was told no because girls weren't allowed. And that experience colored me into a box where I thought, and in reality, to survive in this society, that I had to be 10 times better than any boy. A lot of pressure. And I already had a competitive spirit, but I took that in. And I took that in that girls weren't enough. So there was a seed of unworthiness that was planted. And I spent, up until now, my entire life dealing with that gender trauma. You add on top of that the gender trauma that I inherited from my ancestors and the racial trauma that I inherited from my ancestors, in addition to the trauma that I experienced myself as a person of color, as an African American woman. That's a hell of a lot. And I inherited the history, the medical history of women in my family, especially on my mother's side, that's what I know, of them getting fibroids. Now you add that and you look back and you think, it's a wonder that I still have my womb. It's a wonder that those 3 big fibroids didn't take me out. It is by the grace of the Creator that they did not. And some decisions that I made in terms of my health that they did not. So, those fibroids, I can pinpoint when they started growing. I think they were already in my womb, but I think they were given fertile ground when I decided to go to law school. And it was then that they started growing. And then years after finishing law school, the stress, all of it. I'm not saying law school was awful. I'm actually wearing my Howard sweatshirt right now. But I put an enormous amount of pressure on myself to get power and money through my identity as a lawyer. The stress that I put on myself to get the bar, to take the bar exam rather. 8 times, 4 times in a row, never taking a break, getting an LLM all at the same time. That was fucking torturous. I did that to myself in response to what I thought I needed to do. I identified with my career. That was my entire identity. And so those 3 fibroids had fertile ground in my womb with all of that stress. So I'm sharing a bit about my story because I want folks to know that when you're stressed out, it shows up in your body. And for me, that stress was a growth opportunity. Those fibroids were growth opportunities. They were growth opportunities for me to practice self-care. And now when I look back, I think of those fibroids. And any little baby fibroids that may live in my womb now, because there are a few, but they're not bothering me. And because I'm 58 and I'm in menopause, they're going to dissolve on their own. Give thanks, right? So now when I look back, I see that the fibroids are seeds of softness. They remind me to be soft as fuck with myself, to slow down and offer myself freedom today. That's my acronym. Soft, slow down. O, offer yourself. F is freedom. That freedom is take care of yourself. That's the self-care. The T is today, present moment. Do it now. Soft as fuck. So my fibroid journey is really the turning point in my life for me to take my self-care and my self-love seriously. So that is today's episode of my fibroid journey. Now, I want to invite you, if you are, gotta run across the street. If you are interested in joining me for Soft as Fuck Sunday on June 25th from 2 to 3 p.m. at Key Kratom CBDT, 1517 U Street Northwest. Go to anandaleak.com/soft. I look forward to seeing you there. I am going to offer an online experience, so look for that information. You can go to my website at anandaleak.com to sign up for my email updates. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.